All right, guys, I am back from YCS Las Vegas this past weekend. I competed in the 3v3 Ultimate Time Wizard Tournament. I also competed in the Attack of the Giant card on Sunday, so I'm going to go over what happened in both the tournaments. So I went with Team Legacy and Jimmy to win. Some of my closest friends. We had two teams. On one team, it was me playing Tengu Plants, the Sheriff Lowe's in the middle playing Value Turbo and Edison format, and my friend Adrian, Javi's twin brother, playing Warriors in GOAT format. And on the other team was my friend Randy playing Value and Edison, Javi the Tiger King playing Light Sworn and Tengu, and Jimmy to win, who was on my team last year, but this time he went on their team. We all stayed together, so it was just Jimmy's playing the same deck he played last year, which was Warrior. Now, Jimmy was on my team last year and we lost on the bubble. And then this year, he lost on the bubble again with Randy and Javi. They actually lost to the team who got second place the last round. And the reason we built the teams the way we did was because we wanted to give both teams a chance to win. And like Adrian, who was on me and Los' team, he doesn't play much Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. So we're kind of like, okay, let's try to make the teams as balanced as possible, so both teams have a shot to do well. So that's why we put me and Los with Adrian. And then with Javi, it's just we kind of didn't believe in Lightsworn and Tengu format, but Javi just adamant that Lightsworn was really good. And he did okay. So, and now as far as how my team went, I guess I'll go over here in a bit. I think looking back now with hindsight, I think if I could redo it over again, I feel like the reason I played Tengu Plants, or I just feel I'm not like convinced that Tengu Plants is the best deck in Tengu format. Agents is a close second, but the only reason I feel Agents can beat Plants, I think I tested that matchup a lot, and game one was 50-50. But the only reason I felt that the Agent or any deck can keep up with Tengu Plants is if they main deck 3 Max C. Without Max C, I feel Tengu Plants just dominates every deck. That's just my opinion. That's from my testing. But if I could go back, I think I should have just played Edison myself. Let Los play GOAT and Adrian play Agents because I feel he was more comfortable in that format because he actually played during that time. He had never played GOAT before. We just put him there and we told him just play Warrior. It's an easy deck. And yeah, but that's just the only thing I regret. If with hindsight, I myself would have played Edison. But I just didn't feel, I also, like, none of us played GOAT. And I'm like, none of us played during that time. None of us really liked GOAT. Even people I talked to at the event were kind of like, oh man, like anytime someone's like, oh yeah, I had to play GOAT. It's just, it doesn't feel similar to, like Tengu and Edison feel similar. Like it's a similar era, whereas GOAT just completely different. Like I wish Konami would just get rid of GOAT and replace it with, heck, 2012, a 2013 format, 2014 format would be better than GOAT. But that's my 2 cents. Now let's get to the tournament. Don't want to bring up complaints. It was much smaller than last year. It was like half the size of last year. I heard maybe because the flights were really expensive to get to Vegas because spring break and St. Patrick's Day weekend. So maybe that's why. The main event still, the main, modern Yu-Gi-Oh event had a decent amount of people. But like the 3v3 for Edison only had like 150 people. And from what I was told, I think it's because it's 3 different formats. I would love to see how many people would come if it was triple Edison, but I don't know if Konami would ever change their mind. I don't think they really care. But anyways, also we still don't have a clock for Time Wizard, which is always a complaint, or a megaphone. Now let's get started with round 1. We get paired up against the team that actually ended up winning. I remember me and Lowe's kind of joking that, oh, this is probably the finals right here. So, we went up against Matt Kalenda, who won the very first Ultimate Time Wizard tournament in Raleigh in 2023. And I think their middle Edison player is Chris. I never met him. It's the first time I met him. And Rick Novick, who actually played in the finals of the only Time Wizard tournament that I won. I played him in the finals, and he's gone 2nd, 3rd, and 5th. And now he just got 1st. So congrats to them for winning the whole thing. Yeah, Rick. What was funny is we sat down and played against them, right? And we all won game 1. Me, Los, and Adrian all won game 1. But Adrian was usually the first one done on our team because he's playing GOAT. But then Rick came back and beat him game 2 and 3. And Los 2-0'd his opponent. And me and Matt K Actually, this is the second time I've played Matt K. It's kind of funny because I played him at RBT Orlando right after he won the Ultimate Time Wizard in Raleigh, and then I went on to win Indy like the week later, and then this time he beat me and he went on to win the 3v3 in Vegas. So it's just passing of the torch, I guess. I don't know, but I I beat him game one, and game two, like he got me with trap dust shoot. I think he held the dust shoot. He didn't flip it right away. So like I remember I went and I think he had some like I think I searched Lone Fire off Sangan or something, and I go end phase scapegoat, and I go draw, and he trapped dust shoots, which he didn't activate right away. I'm pretty sure he held it, and then he dust shooted my Lone Fire, and my scapegoat didn't really do anything. The rest of my hand was just bad, and I couldn't deal with it. But the issue I had the second game was I kind of felt like I could maybe win because I had Black Luster Soldier in my hand. Like I felt, okay, maybe I can fight out of it, and I tried, but I couldn't get out. My hand was just really bad. Like I said, the dust shoe was just devastating. But I was still thought maybe I can steal this game. And then game three, I basically had one turn. Like I think I went first. I had two turns. I went first, summon Thunder King, and he goes summon Tour Guide. Econ's my Thunder King, pokes me for 1,000, and then makes Leviathan. I think says like two back rows and pass, and then I go I think I summoned my own Tour Guide. Tried to crash with his Leviathan. He prisons because because we're getting close to time. And then I go special summon BLS, banish your Leviathan, pass. So I couldn't do any damage without risking like walking into Torrential or something. And I'm pretty sure Matt, because he told me after the match that he cited out his warnings and all that because you don't want those cards in time. That I did the same thing. I cited out my upstarts. I cited out my warnings, my judgment. It's just unfortunate, but that's how you have to play when you're getting close to time. And then during his turn, I have Max C, and he goes off, and he's just trying to burn the clock. Which I'm not gonna lie, I was upset. I hate losing that way, but I would have done the same thing if I was in his shoes. He was like doing all sorts of plays, even though he was under Max C, just to burn the clock. And he was up 1,000, and they won. And I don't know what would have happened. We would have played out. There was no time, but time is part of the game. It's unfortunate, but he got me, and then they ended up winning the whole thing. So, oh man. Why do they appear against them? See, to me, I actually asked because my friends Javi, Jimmy, and Rain, they lost in the bubble. And they told me, do you feel better losing early or losing on the bubble? And I told them I'd rather lose on the bubble. Losing early sucks. I'd much rather lose on the bubble. But anyways, yeah, we lost round one, even though Los, I believe, 2-0 Chris. So, yeah, 0-1 start sucks. It's unfortunate. But anyways, now we go to round two. We're going up against these three. I know they're from New York. They were all wearing New York cats, but I don't remember their names. All I remember is Adrian got wrecked by, I think he lost to no, Adrian lost to Rick's Megamorph deck round one, but round two, what happened round two? Oh, I kept checking the die rolls too. Okay, so let me go over that too. So round one, I lost the die roll. Los won the die roll, and Adrian lost the die roll. So round two, I go up against Manny, the New York team. I lost the die roll, and Adrian and Los both won the die roll. Now, Adrian got wrecked, I think. I don't know if they went to game three. I just know Adrian lost quick. So then it came down to me and Los, and me and Los's matches dragged on. Los went up against GBs, and I played another mirror. I guess I'll go over the spoiler. So this tournament was 6 rounds of Swiss. We only played 5 rounds because one round we had a no-show. And I played 4 out of 5 rounds. I played the mirror match, which is something that I did not expect. I expected the format to be even between Tengu and Agents, but no. Tengu Plans was by far the most played deck. So I'm gonna keep that in mind next time. All right, so anyway, let's go. So yeah, we went up against these New Yorkers, and Adrian lost, and then Los lost in time to GBs. Now I don't know if Los would have won if they would have played it out, but then I did win my match, but I won in time. It was kind of like the exact same situation that happened round one. And I'm looking at it. I think maybe Tengu Plants is not as good with the modern time rule because the mirror matches, they just take a long time. Especially when you get two people who know what they're doing in the mirror. The match can drag on. And I'm still kind of, I don't play as much Tengu as I do Edison. And but yeah, it's one weakness. I don't know if the mirror is just tough because you're possibly going to go into time. Like this guy that I play, his name is Manny. Game 1, he won the die roll, and he opens 1-for-1, Dandy, Tengu, and I don't see Maxi. Can you believe that's like the? Can you think of a better opening? And I remember I looked at my hand and I'm like, I was heavily considering just scooping so I wouldn't reveal what I was playing, right? And I was like, and to save time, I was like, man, should I just scoop? And I decided not to because I had mind control. And I was like, okay, the only way I can maybe fight out of this board is if the cards he drew off Librarian and Formula, if like he didn't draw any defense, which is exactly what happened. He drew a bunch of cards, but he didn't draw any defense. So I was like, I like mind controlled his Librarian, made plays, and then his back row was an MST. And after that, I thought his back row was an MST, but it was actually Heavy Storm. And then it was just a back and forth game. Like I remember I trapped Dust Shoot him, sent back his Gores, and he redrew the Gores. And it just goes back and forth, and it came down to like we both solemned each other. He black rose me, so we were both left with no cards, and we were both under 1,000 life points. And it came down to who drew a monster, and I top decked the monster and then attacked him for game. And game 2, I don't remember. I just know he won. And then game 3, it was the same thing as round 1. Time, I was ahead. I poked him for a little bit of damage, and I won. Now, it's the same thing as round 1. Would I have won if Warren in time? I'm not sure. But since Adrian and Los lost in time, game 3 against GBs, and Adrian lost, we're already out, so we're just playing for fun for the rest of the event. It sucks. Going 0-2 is rough. I don't know. Maybe next year. The only thing I regret is like maybe had I played Edison and I just let Adrian play in a format he was more comfortable. But the issue is no one really wanted to take the GOAT bullet because none of us enjoy playing GOAT. None of us played GOAT during that time. So that's just the issue. I wish I don't know. I wish Konami would just get rid of GOAT. If they don't want to do triple Edison, but replace it with something that's a little closer to Edison and Tengu, like 2012 format, 2013, 2014, even 2015. GOAT is just, I don't know. I'm just not a fan. And almost everyone I talk to that at the event, they're kind of like, yeah, I had to play GOAT. Anyway, let's go to round 3. I lost a die roll again, so I'm 0-3 on the die rolls. I remember my opponent's name was Derek, and I won. I 2-0'd him in the mirror. I don't know if his deck was that great. He like drew no defense, and I destroyed him. And Lowe's did too, and so did Agent. We all 2-0'd our opponents, but we all actually lost. All 3 of us lost the die roll, but it is what it is. Then round 4, our opponents didn't show. Well, they did show up, but they just decided to drop. They didn't even want to play it out. So we're 2-2, and round 5, Los. We all lost the die roll again. Round 5. Los won his roll. He played a volume mirror and he won. Adrian lost the roll, but I think he won. But I can't remember what his opponent was playing. I think it might have been a mirror match. And I actually got paired against TCG Rewind, who was the big Tengu YouTuber. I lost a die roll, and game 1 he destroyed me with X. I had a feeling he was on X Sabers because I know he played that deck last year, and I didn't know what to expect in his deck. Because I actually watched a few of his videos to prepare for this event, and he got me game 1. I remember it came down to like a dust shoot. I dust shoot him game 1, and I didn't know what to send back because his hand was insane, and it ended up mattering. And then game 2, I kind of wrecked him with Trish and stuff. And see, this is the weakness when you put your content out there, people can kind of pre-play you, and I kind of had a feeling he wasn't gonna side Maxine against me, and then he didn't draw Maxi, and then game 3 was close. I think it just came down to like I catastered him and I Blackluster soldiered him and won. It was a good match. And yeah, shout out to him because again I watched a few of his videos to just prepare myself for the event. I know he gets a lot of heat because he's always trashing Edison, or not trashing, but I don't know. He just makes videos where like trying to get people to play Tengu, which to me I love both. I play both. Some people were shocked I was playing Tengu. I love Tengu format. Tengu Plants is one of my favorite decks of all time. Heck, I won a Reborn Tengu, and we're gonna get to there eventually. I'm gonna hang it up right next to this next to the cat. It's gonna be JD, Tengu, and then cat. So yeah, I love Tengu format. So all right, we're 3-2, and then what is that? That was round 5, and then round 6, I went up against Weasley. I think that's his name. What was funny is Weasley came and introduced himself to me right before this round and was telling me he was a fan of the channel. And then we get paired the last round. So even though we're playing for nothing, but it's just for fun. My goal, like, we came to Vegas and I told Adrian and Lowe's, let's just have fun and play. This is a once a year thing, most likely, where they do a 3v3. So let's at least get a respectable X2 record. That was kind of like my goal then. And let's see. Adrian won the die roll. Los lost the die roll, and I finally won the die roll. And Adrian won his match 2-1, and I won my match 2-0 in the mirror. Again, the only deck that I didn't play that was not a mirror match was TCG Rewind's X-Saber deck. And Weasley played pretty well against me. The only thing is that one time he forgot he was under max C. He gave me an extra draw, which I don't think was necessarily bad. Him giving me an extra draw because he was going to leave his 2 tour guides up. So you could argue maybe he shouldn't have given me the extra draw, but honestly, I have to deal with your Leviathan Dragon instead of 2 tour guides. So you can make an argument whether that was a misplay or not. But I will say he did mention that he forgot he was under max C. But I drew really well both games. We both played well, but that was like the only kind of mistake there. But yep. And then me and Adrian won. Los finished playing out his match, and he won also. So the record, since we only technically played 5 rounds, I went 4-1. Los went 4-1, and Adrian went 2-3. But again, he just doesn't play Go. I that's like the only regret. I should have just played Edison and let Los play Go. But the thing is, I didn't want Los to play Go. I just felt I was wasting Los playing. I was like, Los, you need to play Bayou Turbo, and he did well. Heck, he beat the guy who won the whole thing. He 2-0'd him. So it's like, but yeah, looking back, yeah, that was like the change. Maybe we beat Matt Kalinda and Rick and Chris if I'm on Edison, Los is on Goat, and Adrian's on Tengu. Maybe we win. Well, I'll never know. But I still had fun. It was a blast. I love 3v3s. Like, if they ever do another 3v3, I would love to go. It's so much fun playing with your friends and just memories, jokes. But I will say this against Rick. Adrian got really mad at Los got really mad at Adrian because Los was in the middle. Adrian, I think he accidentally cited out his Don Zalug. I don't know if it would have changed anything if he would have kept the Don Zalug in. But I remember Los lost it. He's like, why'd you cite out Don Zalug? Now, Rick says that he still would have won, but we'll never know. Anyway, now let's get to the Attack of the Giant card, which I actually told a few people that I was considering playing Machina Quick Draw, but kind of Los talked me out of it, told me to play Bayou Turbo. I wanted to play Machina Quick Draw, but then I was like, whatever, I'm going to play Bayou, which I probably should have played in the 3v3, but let's see, where is it? Round 1 of the Giant card. I get paired against Randy, one of my teammates. Now, he wasn't on my 3v3 team. He was on the other team, but we obviously went together. I played him at locals all the time. It was a mirror match. Randy won the roll. Game 1, I don't remember exactly what happened game 1. It's kind of a blur, but I did beat him 2-1. And game 3, I know Randy's really mad because I ripped Heavy Storm to beat him because I trapped Dust Shoot him, so I knew his hand. I knew his 2 back rows were Torrential and Deep Prison, and I think he Dust Shooted me back, and he knew I ripped the Heavy Storm, and I Heavy Stormed him, and then I ended up winning, and yeah, he was upset, but then he went on and won a Tengu pod, so shout out to him. It sucks when you have to play your friends, especially when you go together. Round 1, Giant card, it was 124 players, and yeah, but I did beat him. Also, I had to torrential his Dark Arm as well. I remember that. All right, so round 2, play against Eddie on GBs. I 2-0'd him. I won the die roll. I won the die roll against Randy as well. And shout out to Eddie. I think he got married in Vegas that weekend. So I just remember game 1 was just Burial and Dark Arm, and game 2 Royal Oppression and Burial. I remember, and then round 3 I played against another GB player. And I 2-0'd him, and I remember thinking, man, I should have main decked Depression. Playing 2 GBs back to back. His name was Kyle, the other GB player. And one thing I noticed, game 1, I read one of his backers was Starlight Road, and I'm pretty sure I was right. He never flipped it, but he set like 4, so I was like, okay, that one's a Starlight Road. And I remember I MST'd his other back row, and it was like, when I read that he had the Starlight Road, and then game 2, kind of the same situation happened, where I thought his back row was Starlight Road because he never flipped it until like the very end of the game, and I think it was like a dead trap stun. So he set 3, turn 1 with nothing, anything to stop a heavy storm. So I'm guessing GB players just don't care. So I might start risking it just heavy storming GB players when they set 3 or 4. All right. So that was round 3. Now, round 4, it was his top 8. I get paired against my 3v3 teammate, Adrian, another guy I run to the trip with. He's playing Diva Hero, and I lost the die roll. And I remember game 1, he solemned, and I had brain control in my hand. So I'm thinking, okay, he solemned, so now I can steal the game. He had an Ab-Zero on the field. I just needed to draw a monster. And I just couldn't. I opened all 3 values with no Grepher, and that's kind of why, like, if you watch my deck profile, I kind of said I want to go to 3 Grepher because I kept drawing just multiple values with no Grepher, and I was like, man, I really missed that 3rd Grepher right now. And I still was like this close from winning game 1, but then he dropped Dark Armed on me, and I was like, oh yeah, I lose. I had Necrogarden. I couldn't beat him through Dark Arm. And he wins game 1, and game 2 I beat him with Oppression, which is, I was kicking myself even more. I was like, man, I should have main decked this Oppression. And then game 3, he goes first, and he opened insane. But what's funny is my hand countered his hand. Like, he opened Future Fusion, 1 back row, and then I go set Raikou, set MST. He goes Special Prodigy, Tribute for Caius. Caius is my Raikou, attacks me with Caius. I space his back row, not the Future Fusion, and then drop Gorge on him, which I don't main that Gorge, I side it. And I have brain control in my hand, so that 24, 48, 70, that's 7,500 damage. And I have a Caius in my hand. So then Agent goes set another back row and pass, and he's going to Ab-Zero the next turn. So I go draw. I'm going to go for game. So I brain control his Caius, and since I MSC D prison, if he has Mirror Force, I lose. Or if he has Torrential, I lose. But 1 D prison is gone. So I attack him with everything, leave him at 500. And then he has a bottomless set. If it's Torrential, I lose. I know now it's not Mirror Force. So I go, tribute your Caius for my Caius. Target my Gores. That way, if he bottomless, he's still going to get burned for 1,000. And I won. I just had the perfect hand to counter his. And yeah, it's unfortunate. But Adrian doesn't even play Yu-Gi-Oh! He can't, like, he just goes for fun. And he made top 8 of the Attack of the Giant card just playing for him. But I will say this. From the 3 formats, Goat, Edison, and Tengu, I think Adrian is, I trust him more in Edison and Tengu, and we just shouldn't have let him play Goat. That was a big mistake on my part and Los's part. But I take responsibility because I kind of told him to play Goat, so yeah, it's my fault. I should have just let him play. And you know what the worst part is? The night before the event, he and I were testing Tengu format. I was playing Plants, and he was playing Agents, and he was wrecking me. He was destroying me. That was a sign I should have just let him play Agents. Oh well, but anyways. Then I go to the semifinals. I won the die roll against Lee. No. Is it Leon or? I can't remember. I think his name is Leon. Yes. It was a value mirror match, and game 1. I don't really remember this match. I just remember he kind of stole game 2 from me because he deck dev'd me, and like 2 turns in a row, I drew 2 crows back to back. And after that, I'm kind of thinking, yeah, I don't know if I'm a side crow anymore. It just gets deck dev'd. And I remember game 3, I does shoot him, and I played around all his cards. He had a deck dev, a dead does shoot, and I knew he had Torrential, so I played around all 3 of them. Like, I remember there was a point where I was like, okay, I have to do Grepher just for that. I think I got rid of a Gale in my hand just to not make his does shoot live. And yeah, I ended up winning the 3rd game. Does shoot wins games when you can play around. Like, I hit the best card in his hand, which was Grepher, and the rest of his cards were almost dead, and I just slowly poked him with Card Trooper and Grepher until yeah, that's just how it was. So I'm going to the finals, and what's interesting is I let Cam, who got 3rd place, borrow my deck, my Blackwing deck, which Cam, he's mostly an advanced player. He doesn't play, retro. He occasionally plays at locals, and he does play War League, but he made it all the way to the semifinals. I'm like thinking, okay, this is good. If Cam wins, we're going to split in the finals. But Cam lost, got 2-0'd by the guy who ended up winning. He beat me and Cam back to back. Nick from Baton Rouge, or I heard he's from Chicago. I don't know, but he told me he's from Baton Rouge. But he 2-0's Cam. Cam did tell me he made a small mistake. And then I'm playing against him, and Nick from Baton Rouge, he won the die roll, and the frog hero matchup, I always felt it's kind of rough for Value Turbo, especially when, like, since I'm not main decking Oppression or deck dev, like, that game one is tough for me. And I remember he had like a back row, which was he held the Dushu forever. And I thought it was torrential. Like, I had to read that it was torrential, and I remember I heavied him. I had Mirror Force set, and he had MST Dushu, and I thought his back row was torrential. And I go heavy, he chains Trap Dushu, and it just wrecked me. But like he sent back my Dark Arm to the deck. But my hand was just not good. I opened like double Sirocco, I think double Kai's, Dark Arm. Like, I just didn't draw. That's why I missed the third Greffer. Like, there's just I didn't see many cards, and he just slowly came back and won. I was trying to fight out of it with a bad hand, and game two, I Dushued him, and I think the Dushu won me the game because I knew his hand was like a dead Brain Control, a dead Miracle Fusion. I was able to play around all his cards. And game three, it was a weird game because, like, I'm almost certain he was not playing the dupe block. Even Cam told me, I'm pretty sure he was not playing the dupe block. He was playing Frog Hero with probably just Sub and Swap and Treeborn. And, like, I made a play to where, like, I was hoping he would sub me, but I don't know. If I could go back, like, my side deck was not prepared for Frog Hero. I need to work on my side deck. And also the play I made. I don't think I could have won the third game. My hand was not that great. But I just think my side deck needs some work. But I'm still proud. I bounced back after going 0-2 in the 3v3 and got second place in the Giant card. Got a Tengu to add to my collection. I'm keeping it. This might be the last one I keep. I just wanted a third one to go next to the cat, but I don't know if I'm going to keep the rest of them. If I do win more down the road, who knows? We'll see. But hope you guys enjoy the tournament report. I will be attending YCS Houston here in a couple of weeks. I mean, it's like a 3.5 hour drive for me. So, yeah, I'll definitely be at Houston. And after that, as far as a big event, I don't know if I'm going to go to the YCS in, what is it, Rhode Island? I don't know if I'm going to go to that one. I might skip that one. But I'm planning to go to Nats and Indy in the summer. So Houston for sure. Most likely Indy. I'm not sure about Rhode Island. That one I'm kind of thinking about skipping. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a blast. Even though, like I said, we scrubbed out in the 3v3, it was still a lot of fun. Playing with your friends is just so much fun. Like, if they do it next year, I'm gonna plan to go. Just gotta find a team. Anyways, check out the link in the description. I have a coupon code for 5% off Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles and product at Epic Cards and Games. The code's my first and last name, Oscar Zelaya. One word, all caps. I'll see you guys next time.